This video is brought to you by Krackles Cereal, part of a balanced breakfast. It's delicious.
Roll the titles. Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome back to Free from the Grave. I am your host, Krackles the Clown, and as I own a restaurant, I like to serve free-course meals, and I think of horror movie trilogies as a free-course meal. So, in this edition, I am gonna give you a triple helping of the Human Centipede Trilogy. All 3 movies written and directed by Tom Six, and let's go with our appetizer. First sequence. So this first one, it follows, a German surgeon named Dr. Josef Heider, played by the late Dieter Laser, who tried this experiment on dogs as he got tired of separating Siamese twins. He thought, let's bring people together. But yeah, like I say, he tried it on 3 dogs, didn't quite work. But he does kidnap 3 tourists, 2 Americans and 1 Japanese guy, and even presents a PowerPoint presentation of what he plans to do with them. Make them a human centipede, Siamese triplets connected by 1 digestive system with its tagline, 100% medically accurate. Now, of course, one of the women makes a break for it, and for her punishment, she gets to be put in the middle, because that's what he did to the dogs when one of them tried to escape. The movie stars Dieter Laser, Ashley C. Williams, Ashlyn Yeti, and some Japanese guy I can't even pronounce. And he basically makes the human centipede to do one thing for him, which is fetch his newspaper. I'm like, is that it? He's done this whole thing and that's it. Anyhow, yeah, he teaches them some tricks, and of course, the guy at the front, he has to shit. Where do you think he does it? 1 digestive system. So I have to eat shit. Disgusting, I know. But anyway, he eventually gets 2 detectives on his ass because missing tourists, am I right? And of course, they make a break for it as well, the centipede, and of course, the detectives return, there's a shootout, everyone's dead except for the girl in the middle, she's still alive, because the guy at the front, the Japanese guy, slits his throat with glass, and the other one at the back dies from an infection, and her fate's left unknown. What did I like about this one? Well, I will admit, it's something that I'd not seen before in horror. I mean, yeah, there are some sick, twisted stuff up there, shit eating, and then like in Sailor, the 120 Days of Sodom, or torture shit like Hostel and what have you. But, yeah, I can't recall anyone ever making a movie like this. In fact, director Tom Six, when he was writing this movie, he tried to get it sold as a comedy, as he, believed the idea came to him when he was drunk with his friends saying, wouldn't it be good if 2 child molesters had their mouths together and their mouths sewn to an anus with a truck driver in the front? Of course, he couldn't quite get there, and in the movie, Hyder does abduct a truck driver, but when he's not a match for the 2 ladies, he kills him and buries him next to his 3-piece dog. Of course, a lot of this is done on a tight budget, and there's no visual CGI. To be honest, this is all practical stuff, and it's mainly what you don't see which fucks with your head. You see, it's all messed up. It's all sick and twisted, but the sequel, the second movie, we'll get to shortly, makes this one look like a Disney movie, and my god it does. But yeah, it's pretty gross, there is some sick scenes, and yeah, but I gotta say, in between when he's made the centipede, it's kind of a bit boring, but hey, what else can you do with the human centipede, you know? The guy in the front, Japanese guy who is called Katsuro in the movie, He does a great job too, shouting in Japanese. I know what the fuck he's saying. And the two women at the back, Lindsay and Jenny, they're just muffling and because their mouths are busy telling to butts. Anyway, Tom Six, you created some messed up shit right there, but we're only just getting started. Anyhow, I give the Human Centipede first sequence I'll give it 3.5 crushed skulls out of 5. Now, who's ready for the main course? Full sequence. So this one stars Lawrence R. Harvey with the return of Ashley Yeti, now playing herself in this, as the second movie follows a little fat midget who's obsessed with the first movie. Yeah, that's what the first film is. It's not a direct continuation per se, but the first movie is a movie within this movie, and well, Martin Lomax, who is a fat little midget who secures a car parking lot in London, who dreams and fantasizes of having his own human centipede by getting 12 people, having a history of abuse from his parents, and of course people being so rude and a dick to him, he goes out to fulfill this dream by making a 12 human centipede. Of course it backfires when he tries to do the surgery. Also, he thinks he may have killed a pregnant woman, but no, she's alive. She makes a break for it later on and kills the kid whilst trying to escape in the car. Quite gruesome. He does get Ashley Yeti back, who does get promoted to the front this time as he wants to get the other two, but can only get Ashley Yeti, promising in her an audition for a Quentin Tarantino movie. The movie's shot in black and white, even though Tom Six originally wanted it to be colored, however could not get it sold in color due to the graphic gore and the disgusting violence and stuff. But you can watch it in color, and you can watch it all together without the bits that were cut out, put in there, called the Tom Six edition. Yeah, quite hard to get hold of. This movie was banned in many countries, including the UK for a while, until the ban got lifted due to some cuts made. Of course, Martin not being a surgeon, he then decides he'll use staples and duct tape and stab them in the knees. Of course, when it all starts to fall apart literally, he goes insane and kills everyone. And yeah, then we cut back to Martin watching the first movie thinking, did all this shit just happen in his head? Was he fantasizing? Most likely he was, but who knows? Like I say, Tom Six could have gone in the direction of continuation from the first movie, but thought, what if I go all out here, make the first movie look like a Disney movie, and what would happen if it, say, did inspire some crazy sicko out there? And they go with that. Lawrence R. Harvey puts up a chilling performance, and imagine it was an easy role for him. In fact, he accepted it because he said it was a lead role, and also he, didn't have much dialogue. And of course, hats off to the other actors who all played the centipede. They gave it the role. And the only bits that were in color in the black and white cut was the shit scene when they're all shitting, which he forces them to do so with laxatives. Also, the guy masturbates with sandpaper. Nasty stuff. Even his psychiatrist looks like Charles Darwin. But yeah, this one is said to be the worst one, and yeah, it kind of is, but you know what? I do find this slightly more entertaining than the first movie. Like, more gory horror shit goes on. Anyhow, we do get Ashley Yeti in this, playing herself. Why she came back, who knows, but she did. Including one of the detectives from the first movie, now playing a different role, who again was intended to be a centipede piece, but gets his asshole cut and bleeds out. Okay, I give the Human Centipede 2 full sequence. Let's give this 4 out of 5 skulls out of 5. Now, are you ready for dessert? Well, you better stomach it!
You are gonna finish your dessert, and you are gonna like it!
So, the Human Centipede 3 final sequence. So this one isn't just written, and the tagline for the second one was 100% medically inaccurate. The tagline for this one is 100% politically incorrect. This one is set in a prison in Texas called the George Bush Prison, and of course it follows Bill Boss and his accountant Dwight, played by Dita Laza and Lawrence R. Harvey from the previous two movies, now in different roles, as they try and come up with a solution for their governor, played by Eric Roberts. Yeah, that Eric Roberts. He's a fan of the movies too. He wants improvements, and Dwight's like saying to the warden, Bill Boss, let's make a human centipede of our prisoners. Do a little adjustments. Sew their mouths open to the asshole and numb their knees so they can be free, with little scars on their cracks to remind them that they should never go back to prison, to reduce prison costs. Of course, we even get Tom Six himself in this movie, who plays himself. It also stars Brie Olson, an ex-porn star, and of course, this isn't a great one. Yeah, I mean, 90% of the movie is Dita Laza shouting his head off, who is now no longer the German surgeon Hyder, but is the prison warden Bill Boss, and he just shouts and screams and eats prisoners' testicles. The prisoners as well are very unlikable people, and you know what? Yeah. But like I say, Eric Roberts is in two sequences, the first act and the final act. And like a regular person, he's at first disgusted when he sees his centipede, but then changes his mind saying this is exactly what America needs. I tell you something else too. Yeah, Eric Roberts is a huge fan of the first two movies and jumped at the chance to star in it. Briefly. Yeah, I know. He was in Doctor Who as well in the 90s. Was also a big actor in the 80s, but kinda lives in the shadows of his sister and his daughter now. Okay, so... likes and dislikes. I've already explained. A lot of it is Dita Laza shouting. There is an alternate ending, though, where he does wake up as Dr. Hyder from a dream, which leads us back into the first movie, but yeah. The first two films are again movies within this movie, and shows it to the prisoners for movie night, saying, this is what we're gonna do to you before a riot breaks out. And Daisy, the secretary played by Brie Olson, accidentally gets put in the centipede. And one guy at the front's feeding them. And also, we don't see the centipede until like the final 10 minutes of the movie. We see some gross stuff in there, like assholes and that. We even see a trick done for the death row inmates, the human caterpillar, where they are sewn together mouth to anus, and their arms and legs are removed. Hinting on a possible spin-off movie, The Human Caterpillar. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But this one is the weakest of the three, and there hasn't been another Human Centipede movie since. All I can say is Tom Six did something right with these movies because he made a controversial trilogy. The taste never leaves your mouth or your sight. It's messed up. We even get the return of the Japanese guy from the first movie as well, now playing a prisoner. And also the guy who was the detective in the first movie, and then another guy in the second movie. He plays a prisoner, eats his shit, and then gets shot because he doesn't want people to enjoy being in the centipede. So yeah, I don't know how this would save costs, because there's the whole nutrient things they need to inject the prisoners with. Yeah, syringe costs. Anyway, at the end of the day, this goes back to its original idea from the comedy roots, because there is dark humor and dark comedy in there, and it is pretty messed up. But, you know what? This is a trilogy that is known for it. Ashley C. Williams, Winter Williams as now she is known as, she is the only one who hasn't actually returned for any of the other sequels, and was only in the first movie as the middle piece. Yeah, she's credited as Ashley C. Williams, but goes by the stage name now of Winter Williams. And also, the Human Centipede has made quite the resurgence in recent years. We have seen quite a lot of people talking about it again, given the film came out 16 years ago in 2009. Anyhow, these movies are still banned, but they're still talked about and seen by people. What am I gonna get the third one? It's the weakest one. It gets 2 cracked skulls out of 5. So there you go. There is the my free-course horror trilogy. Did you enjoy it? Have you seen any of these free movies if you had the guts for it? I recommend not watching on a full stomach while you're eating, but still, they are pretty... Anyway, what did you think to him, Rags? Yeah, he liked the films too. He's my brother. Anyway, that's it from this one. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And of course, I'm not the only one who's on this channel on Free From the Grave. There's two others, Macobston Productions, the movie Massacre. They're on there giving their stuff too on this channel, because that's why we're free from the grave. Even though I'm not dead. I mean, the face of this guy I'm wearing is probably, yeah, he is very dead. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this one. Until next time, don't have nightmares. Yeah!